Lose the fat and keep the lean. How to change your body composition with diet, resistance training, and supplements. Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Joanne Shearer Parkin. I'm a registered dietitian, master's level nutritionist, and also a Pro 7 LifeVantage distributor. And so over the last 50 years of my experience as a dietitian, yes, I celebrated 50 years this year. I would say about 40 of those years I've spent in counseling people about weight management, and especially the 15 years that I worked in diabetes. And most of my clients were just really struggling, with their weight. And so I've really had a lot of experience in counseling and helping my clients with their weight. But I can tell you that one thing I've learned over these years is that this is for most people, it's really kind of a lifelong battle. I would say, I don't know if that's the right word, but it's really something that a lot of people really struggle with for their lifetime. And so what I'm hoping to share with you tonight is some key concepts and just some information that can help you to, lose the fat and keep the lean for your lifetime. And so let's get started, and let's start with the 5 key topics that I want to cover tonight. And this is going to be a lot of information in a short time, so bear with me. I'm going to talk about the body composition, new information about how important that is versus looking at just weight loss, some new collagen research for building muscle, TrueScience Liquid Collagen from LifeVantage, why I believe this is way superior and unique to anything that I have seen. Also a complementary product called Fat Burn that's also safe and effective that can work synergistically with the collagen. And then we'll have some product user stories as well. So proper disclosure, everybody is unique and different. We're all going to have different unique experiences, so just keep that in mind. First of all, we want to change our thinking, and we want to start thinking about fat loss, not just weight loss. We want to think about losing the fat, keeping the lean, right? That's body composition. Your body composition is your percent of your fat-free mass. And for the rest of this webinar, I will call it lean body mass. The research, they all refer to it as FFM, fat-free mass. So it is about the percent of your lean body mass versus the amount of fat mass. Now, you actually can have your body composition measured. There are fitness centers that will measure your body composition. When I go to my doctor's office, she measures our body composition when we go, not just our weight, and we can track that as well. There are scales. You can go to Amazon and you can buy a kind of a little sophisticated scale you can hop on it, and it's going to give you that information. The other thing that you can do is take measurements. How do your clothes fit? Are you losing a notch, on your belt? Or are you having to, increase it, a notch? So that's actually better indicators of your overall fitness and your overall weight, right? Is really more measurements and body composition. And I think this slide really shows what can happen when you are at 130 pounds, you have 20% body fat, and you're looking pretty darn good, right? Pretty lean and in shape. But if you're over on the right here at 130 pounds and 35% body fat, look at the difference. And one thing that you want to keep in mind too is that as you get older, especially starting after age 40, you're with aging, and you think that 40 is not that old, but yes, after age 40, your body starts gaining fat and losing muscle. And so, while the scale may not say anything different, your body is changing whether you realize it or not. Another thing that you have to keep in mind is, and that's really critically important, is that you really want to focus on losing the toxic belly fat, the visceral fat. That's the fat that you carry above your waist. When you have an increased girth, increased waist circumference, it increases your risk of cardiovascular diseases and diabetes, and something we call the metabolic syndrome. So this is the one measurement. If there's one measurement that you would want to track and follow, would be your waist circumference, because that's what you really want to target. So how do you target that waist circumference, well, you're going to make sure that you are eating adequate protein and that you are lowering and minimizing or eliminating, completely eliminating any of those processed carbohydrates in your diet. Adequate protein means about 1.2 grams to 1.5 grams of protein per kilogram. Well, that would be per 2.2 pounds. So there's all kinds of wonderful little apps that you can download that will help you with calculating that, and also where you can track your protein intake to make sure that you are getting adequate protein. And you definitely, over on the left there, you definitely want to avoid that yo-yo dieting syndrome. This is what I've seen over the years, and this is really actually kind of dangerous for people, where with extreme dieting, with maybe not enough resistance training, they will lose the pounds, but what they're losing is a lot of muscle mass as well as fat. Well, your muscles are biologically active. They burn a lot of calories. That increases your metabolic rate, the rate at which you're burning calories, right? And so if you're losing your muscle mass, it's going to lower your metabolic rate. Guess what's going to happen when you go off the diet? You're going to gain back the weight, plus many times will gain more. So just keep that in mind, that, avoid, we all want really want it quick and fast. We want to get rid of that extra weight, but let's have this long-term thinking, right? This is long-term thinking. Now, another key component is weight training, and just 3 times a week, getting out with your weights and, 30 to 40 minutes, probably minimum, but just 3 times a week. And that can have a huge benefit in preserving your lean body mass. Now, over the years, I have been a big fan and recommended whey protein as a protein supplement to take after your workouts with your weights to help to increase and build your muscles, right? But also recently, I've been reading about collagen, and actually that there are some great studies on how collagen can also have the same benefit and actually might even be even more effective than whey protein. So what I did was I went to PubMed.gov, National Library of Medicine database of all peer-reviewed research studies, and people that know me know that I'm kind of a science geek. I'm odd. I like to read research studies. So I found 4 high-quality, peer-reviewed, randomized clinical studies from 2015 to 2020. Now, this is pretty recent new research because I couldn't really find much before 2015. So I'm thinking we're going to be hearing in the future more about collagen for improving body composition and muscle strength. And in these 4 studies, they had 4 different population groups that they studied. One study studied active young men. Another one was premenopausal women. Another one, elderly patients in a rehab center. These were quite elderly, average age 78. Now that I'm 73, that 78 doesn't look that elderly. Elderly sarcopenic men age 72. And this is really critically probably the most important study that I read in this sense, is because remember I talked about how as you age, you start losing your lean body mass. Well, you can develop this sarcopenia and not really realize that you have it. And what it is a significant decline in muscle mass, and it affects 25 to 50% of adults greater than 60 years of age. I don't think I have it because I have my body composition measured and I'm doing fine. Now, being sarcopenic increases risks of fall, to decrease your immunity, and it decreases your strength, your muscle strength as well. So what was the study design in these 4 high quality peer-reviewed studies? The studies were about a 12 weeks of duration. They randomized the subjects to either 10 to 15 grams of a powdered collagen peptide supplement, or they just had a placebo drink. This was powdered supplement. They put it in water and stirred it up and drank it. And their collagen supplement was consumed within 60 minutes of resistance training. Again, this was resistance training 3 times a week. Let me back up. And what they measured in these studies, they measured the change in the fat-free mass, that's your lean body mass, fat mass, and muscle strength. Usually like a grip strength was what they often would measure to measure muscle strength. So what was the results of these 4 studies? And the results were very consistent across the board, no matter if you were a young, active, a 24-year-old, or whether you were a patient in a rehab center. The outcomes were really fairly consistent. In all 4 of these studies, all of the subjects had a significant increase in their fat-free mass, which we know is your lean body mass or your muscle mass, right? They had a decrease in fat mass. They had an increase in muscle strength as well. And the greatest benefit was for adults greater than 60 years, which you would imagine was because you lose after about age 25, 30, you start losing 1% of your collagen. You know, collagen is this important, critically important protein. It's the most abundant protein in the human body. It's like 30% of the protein in your body is collagen. It's important for your connective tissue, joints, tendons, elasticity of your joints and tendons, for your bones, even your brain, your gut. There's just so many health benefits of collagen. So, and you lose your collagen as you age. It's just like you're losing your muscles, you're losing your collagen. So this is with this these studies, you would think, and you would assume that the older adults would be the ones that would really get the benefit. Now, in the studies, they used a powdered bovine collagen supplement. Now, that's really not the best. I'm sure that's what we've had available for many years. That's all we've had available. I've started learning about collagen probably 20 years ago. I've been to continuing education webinars on collagen. So I started with a powdered bovine supplement, which I was taking very sporadically, by the way. It was very hard to be consistent with it. Stirred up, mainly I would just put in my shakes, my protein shakes, and add a little extra collagen to it when I would have a protein shake, but not consistently. I have to say I was not really good about taking it. And then I switched about a year ago to a liquid collagen, but it was kind of hard to take. It wasn't very good. And it really did not have the features of this one. I didn't really notice much change or difference. And I have to confess that I wasn't really great being consistent with that, because it came in this bottle, in this jug, and I had to pour it out. And like I said, it didn't taste really great. But I can tell you, this liquid collagen tastes absolutely phenomenal. It's fabulous. It's in these little single servings of collagen and liquid. And it's just super, super easy to take. And this TrueScience Liquid Collagen has it's just so much more superior and greater benefits than the bovine powder. Bovine, of course, means referencing cattle collagen. And first of all, in the bovine, there's about a 10 to 30% absorption, whereas with the TrueScience, because it's collagen peptides, first of all, fish collagen peptides in the TrueScience. The fish peptides alone are significantly more highly absorbable than the powder bovine. And also because it's in the liquid, right, you're going to get up to 90% of that absorption versus the powder, right? The bovine powder has 1 or 2 types of collagen. TrueScience has 10 different types with 10 different benefits in the body, right? So that's critically important as well. What's great, as I mentioned, I just love the fact that it's so portable, ready to drink, just chug it down. The powdered is a little, like I said, more challenging to take. Now, what these both do, the powdered bovine and the TrueScience liquid, they both replenish the collagen. They're supplements. They're taken to replenish what you're losing. But what really puts the TrueScience collagen really heads and shoulders above the powdered collagen or the bovine is that this liquid collagen activates collagen production and it maintains collagen production, which the bovine powder does not. And this is what I call the secret sauce of this liquid collagen. It's a ruby red quinoa extract. It's an extract from a cereal grain and a plant from Taiwan. I had never heard of it before. I went to the research, went to PubMed. They call it Dijulis in the research. Really pretty cool that I now know about this extract. And I went to PubMed and I'm reading everything I can about this extract and finding the research where they have taken this red ruby quinoa extract and they have combined it with the collagen. And what happens is that this quinoa extract is called an NRF2 activator. It activates specific genes that are responsible for collagen density and then the synthesis by 42%. Right, okay, so I talked really earlier, right? We get that better absorption, so you're gonna get that collagen absorbed through your gut and into your bloodstream, but you gotta get it into the cells, right? It's got to get into the cells in order to replenish your collagen density. And so that's what this extract does. And while it activates that specific gene to increase the collagen density, it deactivates the gene responsible for the collagen degradation. Because remember, as we're all sitting here, we're losing collagen, right? So that is what's so special about that particular extract. In addition, in this liquid collagen, you are also getting some additional berry and citrus fruits extracts, especially vitamin C and antioxidants, which are essential for your collagen production as well. And these extracts also promote the production of elastin, right? That makes your tendons, more flexible, your blood vessels more flexible as well, right? That's critically important for your vascular health. And gives you that nice, beautiful, glowing skin. And of course, helps also to slow down the collagen degradation. So this is kind of a complicated chart, but a couple things I want to point out here. Let's start over on the right. You see the green bar here? This is that specific gene that gets increased by 43%, the collagen density gene. This blue right here, this is that gene that is decreased. This is the one that degrades collagen. So that's turned off. Do you see that? By 33%. Another exciting finding with this slide is that this collagen increases a powerful cellular antioxidant called SOD. That's increased 27 times. That significantly lowers oxidative stress and inflammation. So you're just really getting a huge, huge benefit at the cellular level. And what's not in this collagen? No added sugars, artificial sweeteners, no GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free, soy-free. None of the things that we absolutely wouldn't want to have in this product. And there's a great study, fabulous study that was conducted by the company that demonstrated some amazing results that had to do with skin roughness, reducing crow's feet, increasing another key antioxidant enzyme called catalase, increasing your skin elasticity as well. Now, what are the results? Documentation beats the conversation, right? So TrueScience Liquid Collagen was launched in June. And so we are now getting a lot of reports and before and after pictures and stories about the health benefits of the collagen. Some people will, like Kim here on the left, will see results within 15 days. This gal on the right, she really has stuck with it and has continued the collagen for 5 months. As you can see, over the 5 months, definitely her appearance has changed. And when I look at the day one versus the 5 months, I think something's got to be going on the inside. And I asked her, I said, you got to be feeling better as well, right? Like less, don't you see like puffiness and inflammation, and just kind of what's going on the inside often gets reflected on the outside, right? So she said, you bet, I feel fabulous. We're seeing improvement for vascular changes. This particular young man, 86 years old, he had an injury to his arm, and you can see how this has improved the condition of his skin. Pretty amazing. And this is Nancy with her kind of crepey legs. She'd been having some sickness and illness, and had really kind of degraded her collagen, but look what happened in just 3 weeks for her. This is just kind of amazing. This dear young lady, which I know personally, she has a specific health condition that causes this systemic inflammation in her body. She saw amazing results and felt really better in just 7 days. And this poor dear lady in her 80s, you can see that you can just see the improvement in her hands with this just about a month on the collagen. And so if people are seeing the results on the outside, you can imagine they're feeling better on the inside. And so I just also want to take just a few minutes to talk about combining the collagen with this particular product, because I mean that's pretty amazing product. And so when I first, to be honest, fat burn products is not something I've readily endorsed throughout my career, as you can imagine. Some of them would, increase heart rate. They were not safe. Some would increase blood pressure. So when LifeVantage launched this particular product, I was a little bit concerned, I'm like, wait a minute, what's in this? And well, of course, again, I go to PubMed.gov. I'm going to read the studies on this product. Well, the key ingredient in this fat burn is something called Sinotrol. It's a patented ingredient. What it is, it's great. It's citrus fruits extracts. And it's combined with a little bit of guarana, which increases the effectiveness of the product. And that's really, the Sinotrol really is the key ingredient. They also had a little coffee bean extract in there as well. So what I found when I went to PubMed.gov, I found this research. And this first research study that I found was a 2008 clinical trial with 20 subjects. And they found that after, 12 weeks, there it is, 12 weeks. There was a significant reduction in the body fat mass. I didn't see where they actually reported the lean body mass, if that had increased, but you would suspect it had, right? If you're losing your fat mass, right? And this was a pretty interesting study. This was conducted, I think, about 5 years later, 2013. And in this study, 100 overweight men and women took the Sinotrol twice a day. They had a pretty liberal diet, actually, for a weight management program, and they had pretty minimal exercise, right? And even with that minimal exercise, they had about a 2.5 times greater reduction in abdominal fat, hip size, and waist size. Waist size reduction was about 2 inches over 12 weeks. And this was what was cool. They actually measured that there was this increase in the release of free fatty acid, which indicated the kind of a fat burning effect. Now, they actually, in this study, they also measured a number of clinical parameters, biochemical parameters, to study and see if this was safe. And their findings were pretty amazing. They said that Sinotrol has positive side effects. So, a lot of times when we take prescription meds, you're reading all the lists of the side effects, right? Well, this is what really, this really reassured me, that not only is this safe and effective, but, it actually has some positive side effects, right? The one that I thought was pretty interesting was the C-reactive protein. This is a measurement of the inflammation in your body. The Sinotrol group had a reduction of about 23%, whereas in the placebo, they had that 61% increase. That's pretty amazing. So the researchers concluded that the Sinotrol produces beneficial changes in body fat composition, improves inflammatory, glycemic, and oxidative status in overweight men and women. Now, just very recently, I think 2021, this study was released, and this is the last one I'm going to talk about. And it was a 16-week, 4-month placebo-controlled study on the Sinotrol, which again is the key ingredient in the fat burn. They showed the following results, and this is really kind of a little bit mind-boggling on this one: increase in resting calorie expenditure by 181 calories a day. Now, resting energy expenditure consumes 60 to 70% of your total calorie expenditure in a day. So you can see that this is a pretty significant finding, and you can see right over here on the right, the significant increase in this resting calorie expenditure. That resulted in a total reduction of fat by 5.2%. And this was a cool thing. I'd never heard of beige fat until I read this study. Right, beige fat. It's I'd heard about white fat and brown fat, knowing that white fat was fat. The cells store a lot of fat, right? But this beige fat is a more energy dense type of good fat, right? This was critically important too. 65% of the fat loss was in the trunk area, the visceral fat, right? That toxic belly fat, which was really confirmed by that previous study as well. And this was kind of cool because the fat loss continued even after they discontinued the use of the product. So in summary, I call this the winning combination to, help change your body composition. And if along with resistance training, right? Making sure that you have adequate protein, that you are reducing your processed carbohydrate intake, that you're tracking all of this and paying attention, right? So what did these two products do in combination? They improve your body composition, they reduce your fat mass, increase your muscle mass, increase your muscle strength, they target the belly fat, and increase your resting calorie expenditure. So these two products are marketed through independent distributors of a company housed and based in Salt Lake City called LifeVantage. LifeVantage has been around about 20 years. They're debt-free. They're a global company as well. And these products are sold strictly through, again, like I said, independent distributors. So for the guests that are on the webinar tonight, I would refer you back to the person who invited you here, because we have some amazing some wholesale pricing for our customers on the subscription orders. And so you can get this great pricing, some free shipping on some of the products as well. And we also offer some distributor enrollment packs as well. Because 12 years ago, when I first heard about LifeVantage and flagship product, LifeVantage flagship product is called Protandim NRF2, I was a busy professional and I didn't think I had time. But I knew that when I saw the science on this little yellow pill, that I would be out there talking to people. And I thought, okay, I might as well be a distributor and start earning some income because I needed retirement income. My husband of 32 years had just passed away the year before. And I was thinking, wow, would I ever be able to retire? And I was just short that extra $1,000, maybe $2,000 a month. Could I really ever be able to retire? Now I'm kind of living the dream life here in Arizona, in the winter. And Jim and I, my husband of 9 years now, we travel and enjoy our summers. But anyway, that's what I did. I just bought one of the packs, and I got started, and I found out that LifeVantage makes it pretty easy because you get a replicated e-commerce website for free. And also you get an app on your phone, right? Run this from your phone. what you do is send out videos, training videos and education like what I'm doing here tonight. There's a lot of that's available. And then your customers just go to your website, order products, and they ship right to your customer's doorstep. Pretty simple. This is probably my favorite of all the pack options that we have, because LifeVantage has a wonderful product line. Just some of my favorites, besides of course the collagen, would be the gut products for the gut health, the skincare with the Nerve 2, the brain performance drink Axio. Oh, love my Axio. This is the anti-aging tri-synergizers. These are called nutrigenomic products. They work at the cellular level to slow down aging. These are pretty amazing as well. So you can see that LifeVantage has a pretty great lineup of some really wonderful science-based products, and I enjoy and use all of them. Of course, if you are looking for a side gig, and some of you are probably not, so you can ignore this. There's some really some income that you can make part-time, just enough to pay for your products, or maybe you would like more and more income on a monthly basis. This last column is average monthly commissions paid at the rink. I'm at this Pro 7 level. That's around $13,000 a month. You can look here. I find so many people are just happy that get that extra $645 as a Pro 3, and then they can get their products, pay for their own products, and have a little extra, right? So with that, I am going to stop the share, and I am going to welcome two special people on. I've got to get out of this. Hold on just a minute. Two special people that are going to share their stories with using collagen, and particularly, and if they've been on the fat burn too, to share their stories. So I'm going to start with Carrie. Are you on?
Yeah, I am, Joanne. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Good.
Super. Do you want to? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, this is Carrie Anderson. Carrie lives in Grand Forks, North Dakota. She's employed there as a nurse practitioner, and she might tell you her work. But Jen, you want to mute your line there? Thank you. But Carrie, tell us about your experience.
All right. So first of all, thank you for sharing all that wonderful information with us. I don't know if there's any of us who around this time of the year don't want to burn 181 calories more without doing much extra work. I kind of like the sounds of that. So I started taking collagen, and I didn't have a lot of experience with it, because really I hadn't seen much benefit with it over the years. It was just kind of a hit or miss thing. But when this one came out with some of the ingredients and the differences in it, I started taking it. And of course, right away, I noticed some changes with my skin, like less wrinkles around the eyes, maybe a little smoother, a little shinier. And that's not surprising, because our skin turns over and we see those things come first. But then I got thinking, man, my mind, I felt so much brighter, and I was like, well, I'm not depressed, so what is going on? But it was like I could think clear, and I just had so much. It's so hard to explain. It was like my brain woke up and I didn't know it was asleep. It was crazy. And I think that's the best way I can explain it. And then I guess what I noticed a little later was, you have to understand, my house is kind of in a remodel right now. And so I've got clothes in totes and put away because it's a mess here. And so one day I was looking for a pair of jeans, and I grabbed them and I put them on. I didn't think much about it, and off I went. And at the end of the day, I'm going, where did I get these jeans? And then I realized I hadn't been able to wear those for probably a year. They had been in my closet, and they were tight around the waist, and they were so uncomfortable. And I had worn them all day without any trouble. Now, I haven't taken any measurements, so I don't know if I'm down inches, but what I do know is I'm wearing clothes I haven't worn before. So I said, well, now maybe I should try this fat burn in combination with it. Now, I've only been doing it about 1 month, so I don't have a lot to say, but what I'm going to say is I've noticed I don't feel as hungry. Not to say I'm not eating because I love food, but I'm not feeling as hungry. So I feel like I'm eating a little bit less. But the other thing is I'm not having those sugar cravings that as women, we're stressful eaters and we love all that sugar and sweet stuff. And I've noticed, like, my mom was just here Christmas baking with me, and I'm like, usually all these warm cookies out of the oven taste so good. And I didn't really.
That's great. I mean, I know this time of the year, it's tough with the, resisting the sugar cookies and the sugar,
Right?
the baking and all of that. So thank you,
But
Carrie, for sharing. Thank you
yeah.
very much. Well, I want to also introduce another great lady who she's going to share her story as well. And this is Jan Smith from Nebraska. You're a retired massage therapist, correct, Jan? Was that right?
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
After 28 years. Yes.
After 28 years. So tell us about your collagen story, and if you've been also with fat burn, if you have experience with that, okay?
I started collagen on July 21st, and within 14 days, I noticed my knees weren't hurting, because when I went to sit down, I held my hands around my knees to sit down because they hurt so bad. And my ligaments and my tendons and all of that were so tight because I have bulging disc and bone on bone in my back. And so physical therapy and all of that did not help with my flexibility. But in 14 days, the knee pain was gone. And then I did take measurements and like that. And so I started the fat burn. 42 days after I started collagen, I went to my massage therapist, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, my whole body composition had changed." And about that time, I had measured and I had lost 9 3/4 inches. Wow. And 3 pounds. And so I started the fat burn on October 27th. And to date, I took my measurements on November 9th, November 30th. I have lost 17.5 inches total body.
Combined with the collagen and the fat burn.
The fat burn and the collagen.
The fat burn and the collagen combined.
And I've lost 8 pounds. But then I don't know why I have one of those scales where you can measure the fat, and all that.
Body composition.
Well, I was losing pounds, so I wasn't paying any attention. So on November 9th, I looked at it, and in 21 days, I lost 1.1 in body fat out of my body fat. And I gained the bone mass.
And gain the fat-free mass.
But my ligaments and my tendons and all my massage therapists just blown away in how much I have totally my body. The composition, you guys, you got to take your measurements because that's what's telling the story. But I do not have the fat all back around here. And
let me ask you, Jan, were you combining this with some exercise, like some resistance?
I was able to go back into my centric stretching, but because of my tight ligaments and tendons, I was not able to do what I wanted to do. So yes, and
this is really great story, Janet and Carrie. Your stories, this is fantastic. I have to say that I noticed this my neck and shoulder pain that I had started about a year before I started the collagen. And of course, playing pickleball kind of aggravated it big time. So in 3 weeks, this was pretty much gone. So I'm a very happy camper too. I mean, I'm very, very happy with my.
I lost 2 inches out of each thigh. So a total of 4 inches in my thighs. And I did take pictures. I have a problem of sharing. I just had a problem, but my granddaughter took pictures every 30 days. And
thank you, Jen. Thank you so much. Well, hey, everybody. You know, it's always nice to end on a happy note, isn't it? So, you know, I'm actually a little over on time here, but I do want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Thank our guests for joining and sharing their stories. You know, I hope you've learned something new tonight. Again, if you like what you heard and you'd like to, if you're starting a program, you decided to make that decision, you know, you want to change your health, and your fitness and your body composition, then you like to combine that, add these products that kind of will support that and help you get great success and results, right? So people who are on here are invited by someone, you know, our guests that come on the call. Please get back to the person who invited you and get your questions answered. I'm always available to answer questions as well, anytime. So I just want to thank all of you for being here tonight. I'm wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And let's all lose the fat and keep the lean, right? Starting today. All right. Okay, everybody. Thank you for joining me. God bless. Take care.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.